What's up, everyone? I'm Scripps. I'm a photographer based in Canada. Today I want to be talking about the gear I'm going to be using in 2024. To start off is this Fujifilm X100F. I bought this camera probably 6 months ago now, used. I don't think you really need to buy it new unless you really have the money, because these things are pretty expensive. They are quite incredible though, and I'm a really big fan of this. This is my everyday camera. I use this thing every day. I have it with me all the time. I made this really short leather strap, Joe Greer style, which is nice because when you're walking it doesn't bounce around, and it's very out of the way most of the time. I even forget it's there sometimes. I was asked one time on the train if I was a photographer, and I was like, what made you think that? And he's like, you've got a camera around your neck. I was like, oh yeah, I totally do. This thing's sweet. I love how it's very similar to film in the way that you can adjust all of your settings on the body of the camera, not through like dials or anything like that. I mean, these are dials, but not like whatever the heck these things are called, I forget. But it's very tactile. It sounds cool. It looks nice. The image is great. It's not the best in low light, but that's okay. It also has an internal flash, which is really nice, and then the built-in ND filter is incredible. I got this Canon flash at a, what was it called? An antique shop for $5, and this thing works really well. I love the look of this as well. It's every time I go to a party or some kind of social gathering, I tend to put this in my bag as well, just because this is like a very effective, fun camera to use, and it definitely takes a better picture than an iPhone, so love that. And it emulates film very well, which is something I'm trying to do a lot more in my work, so happy about this thing. Definitely going to use it a lot more in the new year, and yeah, there's no limit to the good things that I can say about this camera. Alright, let's segue into the microphones that I'm wearing right now. So these are the DJI mic. This is the version 1. I think version 2 is coming out soon if it hasn't already. I went to a Henry's camera store here in Ontario, and I found them for $100 cheaper than they normally were. And I had been looking at them for a while. I'm glad I went with these over the over the Rode ones. I think they look way better. This case is really sleek. I'm also a big fan of DJI, and I already have enough Rode mics. I don't really need any more. Yeah, these are great. The battery life on these things is nuts. The clip is really strong, so excited about that. Never gonna lose them. I've used them on one client project already. I was working for this company called Aero Barrier, so I had the guys wearing it, and there was a lot of extra noise going on, but it picked up the voices perfectly, and I was really glad we had them because that was a big budget project, so that was nice. And yeah, I'm going to use these a lot more for making podcasts and just different videos because they're really simple. Having wireless mics is incredible, and especially when they're meant for voice, it's really nice. Okay, next, I'll go with the bad boy. So my uncle recently is lending me his Mamiya 645 medium format film camera. This thing is quite spectacular. I have never really shot with medium format before, except for my buddy has a Hasselblad, but it's one of the older ones and it's not film, so it's a little different. But this has been a real joy to use the past few weeks, and I can't wait to put many rolls through it. He gave me a whole kit with a 45mm lens, an 80mm lens, and a 150mm lens. So I'm going to put them all through their paces. I am quite obsessed with this thing already. It's only been like, he came like a week before Christmas, and it's just January 3rd now, so it's only been 3 weeks, but I'm loving the experience of shooting with this. It's interesting, especially with the top-down viewfinder, how everything is opposite because of the mirror that's in there. Really cool. Absolutely love this thing. Had to get some batteries to get it to work. I was lucky that my Canon AT1 takes the exact same battery, so I was able to just take that out and use it when I first got it. But I'm going to make a few videos about this camera as well, because I recognize there's not that many about it on the internet, and so if I can make some about it, why not? But this thing's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun. More to come. Along with that, I gotta say this light meter has got to be used, because it doesn't have an internal light meter in the camera, so I'm gonna have to use this to help make sure I can expose the film properly. I do shoot 35 quite a bit, and I've gotten pretty good at recognizing what settings are going to be needed for different lighting scenarios, and so I think with due time and putting enough rolls through the Mamiya, I'll be able to figure that out as well. But this is something that I'm going to have to use for the time being, especially just to check, because you want to expose for the highlights, so I want to make sure that I do it right and don't completely blow the image out and ruin film, because it's not cheap. Which is a perfect segue into the next item, which is all this 120 film. And this stuff, these boxes are beautiful, I do have to say. But I got Kodak Gold and some Portra 400. I have an 80mm lens with the Mamiya, and I would love to do some portraits of this, outdoors and indoors, of some of my friends, family, and just get some really good, rich portraits of people I care about. And I'll definitely use the Portra 400 for that, because it is designed for skin tones and things like that. And yeah, I'm really excited to put more of this through the camera. I've done one roll, and I got to get it developed just to make sure there's no light leaks or anything like that, because the camera hadn't been used in 30 years, and so I gotta make sure that it's up to code. The next item is I want to shoot a lot more 35mm film. I have a Canon AT1. It's kind of like the AE one, a little different, but shooting film's a lot of fun. I like how it slows you down and you really like pick your composition well. Sometimes there's times I walk up to a scene and I'm like, oh, this looks good, and I probably would have taken it with the Fuji, but I realize I've only got 24 or 36 exposures, and so I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna save it for something I like a little bit more. And so it's an interesting process. Definitely gets you in a different mindset with shooting film, and the images always look so good, so if you do it right. But more 35. And the last but not least is this long weekend film pouch by Willem Verbeek and his girlfriend Allison Simon, I think. This thing's neat. I got this for Christmas for my sister. It's a really cool bag, and I'll use it to hold the film that I expose and the unexposed. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for checking this video out. Let me know in the comments what gear you're going to be using in 2024. Maybe if you got some of the same stuff, some different stuff, probably. But if you guys like this, leave a comment, like it, subscribe. I'm going to keep posting videos. I'm looking for one a week, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.